Coming up on Juice and Java, we have a student from Puerto Rico talking to us about her devastated community back home.
We'll get a lesson straight from the DanceWorks captains themselves.
And we'll cover the NFL National Anthem protest, the death of PLAYBOY magazine founder Hugh Hefner, and Elon Musk's latest plans.
All that coming up on Juice and Java.
Good morning, I'm Rebekah Castor.
And I'm Noah Eagle. Thanks for starting your morning with us. Let's get things kicked off with the squeeze.
Syracuse University Homecoming 2017 starts this week. Different colleges will host alumni tours, receptions, and award ceremonies starting Wednesday. Different lectures and presentations will take place across the university, encouraging students and past students to learn about achievements at Syracuse. The weekend will kick off with the SU Pitt football game and pregame traditions. Then on Saturday night, University Union will host comedians TJ Miller and the Lucas Brothers for an evening of stand-up comedy. Registration for various events opens October 2nd.
And that's actually a pretty big football game against Pitt. That's an ACC matchup between those two teams. And last year, the score was 76-61. I really hope that we can get a legitimate crowd, unlike the first three games.
Yeah, it's a great game for homecoming weekend. I'm going to be there. So hopefully more alumni will be able to ramp up the crowd as well.
I actually hope you're going to be there. I'm going to keep your word for it. And TJ Miller and the Lucas Brothers, that's a huge get for UU. It's going to be a great show there for students.
Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, they were in 22 Jump Street, Deadpool, they're pretty, big guys, and it's really cool that University Union got them here.
Should be a great show. 14 years ago, Justin Timberlake and Janet Jackson hosted the infamous Super Bowl halftime show, which resulted in the Nipplegate scandal. Timberlake is now rumored to have his 5th album on the way for 2018, and with that, another Super Bowl halftime show. According to Variety, Timberlake is finalizing the deal for the 52nd Super Bowl, which is taking place in Minneapolis. Jay-Z was also being considered by the NFL, but turned down the offer, and Timberlake made a surprise appearance during last year's Super Bowl alongside old NSYNC members in an old ad for Buy Anti-Accident Water.
I am a huge fan of Justin Timberlake. I am so excited that he's going to be doing the halftime show this year.
Yeah, me too. It's someone that you don't really think of in the front of your mind.
Yeah, he's kind of gone away for a little bit,
yeah,
but still relevant.
Well, he's got so many hits, and it should be a good show. You have to believe something with Janet Jackson has to happen.
I know.
Right?
If they bring her out as a surprise guest, I'm just going to freak out. Like, can you imagine the talk on Twitter that would come from that?
That would definitely be interesting. I'm excited to see what he does, because he always brings the house down with whatever show he has, from NSYNC through. I'm also a big NSYNC fan, so I'd love to see maybe a reunion on stage. That'd be a lot of fun.
I'm excited to hear his new album too.
It should be good.
Yeah, we'll probably have some new hits.
Yeah.
But controversy still surrounds the National Football League after President Trump's comments at an Alabama rally last week. The president criticized football players taking a knee during the national anthem, saying this is disrespectful to the country. The players, many of whom were then joined by teammates and team owners, insist they are only protesting police injustice toward African Americans. Supporters of the president say the players shouldn't use the field to protest, suggesting they find a more appropriate place that doesn't disrespect the flag. Polls say the country is split right down the middle, with half supporting the protest and half disagreeing.
Honestly, I'm all in on the NFL protest. I think it's a great way, a great avenue for players and for owners and anybody to really get this message across. The police brutality of African Americans in this country just needs to stop, and I think that this is a great avenue for that.
Yeah, I mean, no, I have to disagree with you on that. I think that all the controversy, with the NFL and with veterans, is kind of clouding the message that the players are trying to get across. And I think that if they took this protest to a different stage, that it would be more accepted by the nation.
They've tried to do it peacefully. Marshawn Lynch has been sitting for the national anthem for a decade and nothing happened. Now they're doing it outwardly and people are upset about that. They're just trying to get their message across, and we'll see how it all shakes up there. Some other tension going on in D.C. The Senate announced that they will not be voting on the new health care bill. The proposal, also called the Graham-Cassidy bill, would have replaced and repealed Obamacare, and opponents of the bill, including 3 Republican senators who killed it, said it did not properly address all the issues a new health care bill should. The announcement is a big blow for President Trump, who promised to eliminate Obamacare several times during his campaign. The president also stated that he may work with Democrats to finally achieve his goal.
You know, I have to say I'm happy this bill did not pass. You know, it's going to be such a monumental thing if Obamacare actually gets replaced. And if we're going to do it, it needs to be right.
Absolutely. It's something that healthcare is so important to so many different people. I'm glad to see they're taking this seriously. If they're going to implement something new, it needs to be something that's going to work. So it has to be taken very prudently, and I'm glad to see that Congress is willing to at least go against Donald Trump in the fact that they want to make this right.
Yeah, I respect those Republicans that stood up against their party and wouldn't let this bill pass.
And I think President Trump wants so badly to just get rid of Obamacare because he promised it for so long that he'll do anything. And like I said, it's really just good to see that people won't allow that to happen.
In other news, Playboy founder Hugh Hefner has died at the age of 91. He passed away on Wednesday in the Playboy mansion due to natural causes. He leaves behind 4 children and 31-year-old wife Crystal. Crystal may not inherit anything from Hefner, though. She said she signed an ironclad prenuptial agreement before their wedding. His massive fortune has been promised to his children and the University of Southern California Film School. Hefner's estate is worth an estimated $43 million, which does not include the $100 million he sold the Playboy mansion for in 2016. He will be buried in a mausoleum next to Marilyn Monroe in Los Angeles.
And before we say anything else, that's the perfect place for Hugh Hefner, right next to Marilyn Monroe. That's where he'll spend eternity. That's absolutely perfect.
She was the first woman on the Playboy magazine.
Exactly. You couldn't dream that up any better, but Hugh Hefner's an icon in pop culture, in anything. He's an absolute icon. Definitely a devastating loss to the community.
Yeah, I saw quite the discussion on Twitter. People were saying that, Hugh Hefner lived so long that his first wife's name was Mildred and his last wife's name was Crystal.
Yeah, it's going to be weird not to have him around, even just for movies and so. He makes so many weird appearances out of nowhere. It's going to be strange never to have him there again. From the past to the future, SpaceX is starting preparations to bring people to Mars by 2024. Tech leader Elon Musk made the announcement on Friday and stated that he aims to land at least 2 cargo ships on the Red Planet by 2022. The ships would place power, mining, and life support systems on Mars to prepare for future flights. The spacecraft is called the BFR, or the Big Falcon rocket, and the ship would hold around 100 passengers and will have common areas and an entertainment system. Musk also hopes that the rockets can be used closer to home to replace airplanes, and stated that the rockets would be able to fly people from New York to Shanghai in less than 40 minutes.
So Noah, I first have to ask you, if this became a thing and that rockets actually were able to get us to go from one country to another in 40 minutes, would you let your body go through that?
Yeah, I mean, think about how much time you're going to save just on travel. It's more that, do we think it's legitimately safe? And I think that's kind of what you're trying to bring up is it safe to actually assume that you can get from New York to Shanghai in 40 minutes? And we know Elon Musk has been trying stuff like this for a while. He had that train that was going to go to New York to DC in about a half hour. I just don't see how that's possible.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be interested to see if he can actually do it. For so long we've been kept with the transportation systems we have.
Exactly.
After the break, we will be joined by a Puerto Rican student to hear her personal story on how Hurricanes Irma and Maria have affected her community back home.
We'll tell you about how you can support their cause right here in Syracuse.
Stay with us.
This is the story of a boy who didn't talk for a long time. The boy liked things to always be the same. Any changes would scare and upset him. The unknown was an unfriendly place. The boy was very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where they couldn't get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. He wasn't trying to be mean, it just made him feel uncomfortable. Sometimes he would flap his arms again and again.
One day, I found out I have something called autism. My family got me help. Slowly, I found my voice and learned all the ways I could live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
Visit aarp.org/caregiving for information on how to provide even better care for the person who wants to care of you.
Hey, Hard, what's this?
That's my resignation letter.
You're resigning. Why?
Because you're constantly ignoring me. You're half as active as you used to be, and you get stuff like this. You've been putting me under a lot of pressure lately. That's why I'm ready to quit.
I forgot. I'll do better. Please, don't quit on me.
Okay, but remember, it's not what you say, it's what you do.
Listen to your heart. Don't let it quit on you.
Let's go for a walk.
Uncontrolled high blood pressure could lead to a stroke, heart attack, or death. Get yours to a healthy range before it's too late.
Welcome back to Juice and Java. The island of Puerto Rico is struggling to recover from hurricanes Irma and Maria. The entire island is still without power as flooding threatens communities. Caving to pressure, President Trump put the Jones Act on hold, a century-old shipping law restricting maritime aid coming to the island.
Even now, the aid that has arrived sits in containers in the island's ports. A shortage of drivers and the destroyed infrastructure has made it very difficult to distribute the help.
This is a message for President Trump. Thank you for calling San Juan yesterday and listening for our Mayday call. Sir, there's 77 other towns that are waiting. They're waiting anxiously and will be very grateful to you and to the American people if you continue to step up to the moral imperative that you've taken on all over the world to help those in need. So help us.
We are joined by a student whose family has been affected by the hurricanes back home.
Michelle, welcome. So to start off, just want to ask you, your family, are they all safe? Everyone okay?
Yes, luckily they're all doing fine. It took a while to be able to contact them and all, and that was pretty scary, but when we finally did, they're all doing great. They're safe, they have food, they have water, so that's all that matters really.
So exactly how has your community been affected by the storms?
So as I mentioned, communication, there's zero communication basically all over the island. People are basically trapped in their towns, which means that we can't get food, get water to communities that really need it. There's no power, so again, that's really the struggle that we've been having. We have aid, we have people shipping containers, people shipping all these supplies, but there's really no means of getting it to communities directly, which is where we come in over here.
Yeah, and talk a little bit about that, what you're doing on campus to help the cause.
Yeah, so really it all started as individual students from home. We were watching what was happening, and really the sense of impotence was so large because, again, we couldn't communicate, we couldn't find out if our families were okay. So we all started asking for donations to our personal Venmos and asking our friends to spread the word, and then we realized that we were all doing this individually, and if we couldn't help our families directly, at least we could band together and begin a larger movement here on campus.
Yeah, so then how is this movement to help Puerto Rico on campus, how is that connecting to the national movement to help Puerto Rico?
So again, once we all banded together here, we realized that our friends all across the country in universities like UPenn, UCLA, Fordham, Boston University, we're all doing the same thing. So our friend, his name is Jose Diego Toro, he began a GoFundMe page in UPenn, and he really got all of the larger Puerto Rican community all across the nation to come together and really bring forward all these people that wanted to help us.
And Jimmy Fallon gave you a donation,
yes,
correct?
Yes.
What was that like?
It was incredible. So he really is the reason that word spread so much. We were doing our best, again, like in our small communities, but once he found out, he donated $20,000, which really helped us reach our goal of $50,000. And now, thanks to him spreading the word, we have a new goal of $150,000, and we're almost there, which is amazing. Because really, again, donating water and food is amazing, and eventually we'll get there, but this isn't just an issue that's going to take a week to solve. It's going to be, rebuilding the island is going to take months, if not years. So really, we're trying to raise funds to plan long-term and to help people that are going to be still affected by this in years to come.
So what else can students on campus do to help?
So again, you can visit the GoFundMe page, which is gofundme.com/studentswithpr, or you can Venmo us directly at Syracuse with PR. We're going to be tabling in Shine. We're going to be having events on the quad. So really keep an eye out. Just spread the word. Stay informed. There's 3.5 million American citizens on this island, and it's just really important to be educated on what they're going through, and really be educated on how everybody can reach out and help.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Yes,
Thank you so much,
Michelle.
Thank you.
When we come back, we'll show you a few routines the DanceWorks captains taught us.
Stay with us.
Fancy pants peanut butter? A big screen television? You haven't even bought a sofa yet. A motorcycle? When your father finds out, he's gonna flip his shoes with 2 buckles? What do you even need 2 buckles for? Mr. Big Shot, buying whiskey shots for everybody in the bar. From the looks of it, I'd say nobody even remembers. Feed the pig.
From DanceWorks, and they're going to try to teach us a little routine.
Yeah, we're going to find out how dance actually works.
This should be interesting.
Roll, roll. Pop, pop. Hey guys! Hey, how's it going?
Hi, I'm Rebekah. This is Noah.
Hi. Hi, I'm Eva. And I'm Adri. We're the homecoming directors for DanceWorks.
Fantastic. You ready to go here?
Yeah, I'm ready to learn some moves.
Are you? Did you bring your A game?
That's the only way I know how. Yeah.
Okay,
I
great.
hope I did.
Hand, head, roll, roll. Front, back, side, butt. Then it's 2 hooks. You got it. Oh, bring it down. Bring it down. Hey.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for teaching us some moves.
It was fun. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was definitely a lot of
You guys
fun.
killed it.
Yeah, and we'll see you guys back in the studio.
Yes, for sure. Do you guys want to try it with the rest of the girls first?
I think we can do it. I think we're
Yeah?
ready. Are you ready? With all the girls?
As ready as I guess I'll ever be, so.
Great, let's do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Head, look, roll, roll. Leg, leg, hit, butt. Beyonce. Beyonce, Beyonce, Beyonce. That was so bad. Here we go. Jump rope. Ready? What's up? Right, left, 2. Nod, nod, rock, rock. There you go. Hey! I feel like they both killed it, and maybe a little more confidence from Rebekah. Noah, we all know, has the confidence.
Yes, he's got the confidence. It's Rebekah that needs it.
Man, fingers are having a problem with these little tiny buttons.
Whoa, watch it there. Your blood pressure's gonna go through the roof.
Tell me about it. I'm trying to learn how to get it down. Instead, it keeps going up.
High blood pressure can increase the risk for heart attack or stroke. Learn how to keep yours at a healthy range.
Ever hear a voice command? Just say text barbershop to 97779.
That's not what I said.
Just give me that. Now my blood pressure's up.
Well, Thomas, you've got prediabetes. But with more exercise and a change in diet, it can be reversed.
I've tried exercising. It just makes me hungry for bacon.
I love bacon, too. And who really likes to exercise?
Not me.
Me neither.
Nobody.
So we're good?
What? Oh, you still have prediabetes. Big time.
What are you, superheroes?
Just four brothers who hate bullies and love this city.
Gear up, guys.
Welcome back to Juice and Java.
We are joined here today with Eva Baldo and Andrea Gagarelli, the DanceWorks Homecoming Showcase captains. So you guys, we had so much fun with you guys yesterday learning the routine. So how long does learning a routine usually take?
Well, making the dance itself takes about 4 days at least with this homecoming showcase. And then teaching all of the board who are going to be performing with us takes about 2 or 3 rehearsals each, ranging from 2 to 3 hours. So it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
And can you explain exactly what is the Homecoming Showcase, you know, what you guys do and who you're doing it for?
Yeah, definitely. So the Homecoming Showcase is obviously a dance show that Eva and I have been working on since May, actually. So we put a lot of work into it. So it's DanceWorks combined with a bunch of different performance orgs on campus. So like Orange Bangra, we have Black Rain, Outlaws. So a bunch of the different dance organizations, and we're all gonna come together and create a show, which is next Thursday, October 5th at 8 o'clock.
Awesome, awesome. So how have you guys prepared for the showcase?
Well, for us to get all of the orgs involved, we had to reach out, find their board members, try and organize everyone. We had to create a theme. This year it's MTV's The Best of Syracuse, like VMAs, so we want to incorporate a lot of music and visuals into the show. So trying to get orgs to kind of follow the theme and everyone get creative is really important for us, because we want to have a show that's not just cohesive in a theme, but also super fun for the audience to keep engaged to. So kind of keeping everyone in line with the theme, but also allowing creative freedom so they can kind of tell us what they want to show to the audience and show what their org is about.
MTV is the theme, so can you give us a little sneak peek maybe of what you guys are using that for in this event?
You want me to answer? Okay, so basically we're doing 3 songs for our show. Well, us personally, DanceWorks, we have Humble by Kendrick Lamar, 7-Eleven by the greatest, Beyonce, and then Bitch Better Have My Money by Rihanna. So we want to have really strong, also like well talked about music videos from artists the past 5 years at the MTV Awards. So we want to incorporate, we're having each of the videos as an introductory to each organization, so everyone gets a little feel for what we're trying to bring to the stage.
Yeah, cool. That's going to sound really cool. So both of you are on the DanceWorks board. So what does that entail?
So that's definitely, we have a lot of responsibilities being on the board. So basically DanceWorks is an audition-based organization. We just had our auditions last weekend, actually. So we basically like oversee the entire 100-person cast that we have. So it is a lot of responsibilities. We have weekly meetings and everything. So basically we're like part of running the whole organization, which we are the largest, well, one of the largest
on campus,
student-run organizations on campus.
Awesome, guys. It seems like you got a good setup and good luck.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having us.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Coming up on Juice and Java, Morgan Trau will be in studio to talk about the latest housing situation on Syracuse University campus.
We'll be right back.
They said a bottle was just a bottle. That no one would ever notice me. But I knew I could be more. That one day, I would make people smile.
They told me a bottle couldn't dream. That I would never become a superhero. But I learned how to fly. Just to come back in a new disguise. And be the hero that I've always wanted to be.
Welcome back to Juice and Java.
We have Morgan Trau with us to tell us about housing on campus. So Morgan, are all the new apartment complexes necessary?
Well, Noah, that may depend if the housing requirements change. Syracuse University will potentially make students live on campus for 3 years. With a current 2-year requirement and about 14,000 undergraduates, Syracuse has seen significant off-campus housing demand. 6 new apartment complexes are built or being built, all to lease by 2018. Michelle Wheatley, SU's vice chancellor, said at a public forum in February that the university is considering a 3-year housing requirement. In the campus framework draft, there will be a total of about 3,600 new beds to be constructed on main campus. This would mean adding around 6 or 7 new dorms, including some on Ostrom Avenue, and converting the Sheraton Hotel to a full dorm. Pete Sala and the Housing Department claim much more research must be done before implementing this plan, so it most likely will not affect anyone graduating before 2021. New apartment complexes are popping up all over the city to accommodate rising juniors and seniors. The 505 and the Marshall are areas of hot topic in the community. 505 Walnut is a pet-friendly, renovated, and fully furnished apartment complex. Some amenities include smart home technology, a penthouse level, and private access for every bed and bathroom. The Marshall is just as new, fully furnished, and right on campus. It includes a full-service gym, study rooms, and a lounge. The Aspen apartment complex is also garnering interest. Being right near Manley Fieldhouse, the hotel-like building is home to many student athletes. These apartments are beautiful, however, they can cost a lot. The 505 and the Marshall are both over $1,000 a month per person for a 4-bed, 4-bath apartment. The Aspen is slightly more affordable with about $800 for the same type of room. According to campus housing administrators, whether students want to live on campus or off, the decision is expected to be made within this year. So juniors in the upcoming years should wait to sign a lease until they know for sure they can live in these luxury apartments.
Wow, Morgan, this is kind of a big change to SU. What are your thoughts on this possible new requirement?
I personally think it's a little bit crazy because when you're an upperclassman, you're getting ready for the real world. And when you're in your 20s, I don't think you're going to want to live with an RA.
And you talked about the Marshall and the 505. What are some cheaper options maybe for students?
Campus West is really cheaper, and UV is also cheaper. Anywhere on, I guess, any street without a name, such as Madison or Livingston or Euclid, they all have apartment complexes and houses that are pretty affordable.
Great. All right, thank you so much, Morgan. That's all for Juice and Java this morning.
Check us out online at CitrusTV.com and follow us CitrusTV on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
I'm Rebekah Castor.
And I'm Noah Eagle.
Thanks for watching, Syracuse.